the full true story of the Piri Reis Map, separating the fascinating historical facts from the popular myths and mysteries. The Piri Reis Map is a world map drawn in 1513 by the Ottoman Turkish admiral and cartographer Ahmed Muhyiddin Piri, better known as Piri Reis. It is not a single map, but part of a larger world book, the Kitab-ı Bahriye, Book of Navigation, and is renowned for its incredible detail of the newly discovered coasts of the Americas and its synthesis of ancient and contemporary source maps, many of which are now lost. Who was Piri Reis? Piri Reis, c. 1470–1553, was not just a mapmaker. He was a seasoned naval commander, geographer, and explorer in the Ottoman Empire. His career spanned decades, and he eventually rose to the rank of Admiral Reis of the Ottoman fleet in the Indian Ocean. Crucially, he was the nephew of the famous Ottoman admiral Kemal Reis, under whom he sailed from a young age. This gave him first-hand experience in Mediterranean piracy and naval warfare, exposing him to ports, charts, and sailors from across the known world. He collected maps throughout his life, a hobby that would become his greatest legacy date of creation. The map was completed in the Islamic month of Muharram, in the year 919 AH, which corresponds to March-April 1513 on the Gregorian calendar. Medium, it is drawn on gazelle skin parchment. Surviving fragment, the map we have today is only a fragment of the original world map. It shows the western coasts of Europe and Africa, the eastern coast of South America, Brazil, the Atlantic Ocean with various islands, a portion of the Caribbean, the lost half. The other half, which would have shown the rest of the world known at the time, the rest of Africa, Asia, the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific, is missing. How do we know so much? The most valuable part of the map is not the drawing itself, but the extensive inscriptions Piri Reis wrote all over it. He provides a treasure trove of information about his sources and methods. He states clearly that this map was compiled from about 20 source maps and charts, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. 8 Ptolemaic maps from ancient Greece, 2nd century AD, 4 Portuguese maps of the Indian Ocean and Asia, 3 an Arabic map of South Asia, 4 the maps of Christopher Columbus for the New World. This is the map's most famous claim. Piri Reis writes that a Spanish sailor who had been captured and who had accompanied Columbus on 3 of his voyages to the New World had given him the map. This makes the Piri Reis map one of the few potential links to Columbus's own, now lost, charts. The mystery and modern controversy. The map became a global sensation in 1929 when it was rediscovered in the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul. Its accurate rendering of the Atlantic coasts, particularly the inclusion of South America, was stunning for 1513. However, the most sensational claims arose in the 1950s and 60s, primarily from authors like Charles Hapgood. He proposed in his book Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings that the map depicted the coastline of Antarctica under the ice, a level of geographical knowledge impossible for 16th century sailors. The true story debunking the myth. Mainstream historians and cartographers reject the Antarctica theory for several key reasons. 1. The coastline is not Antarctica. The landmass often identified as Antarctica is far more likely a speculative extension of the southern continent, Terra Australis Incognita, that European cartographers believed must exist to balance the landmass of the northern hemisphere. This was a common feature on maps of the era. 2. No ice-free coast. Geological evidence confirms that Antarctica has been covered in ice for millions of years. The idea that an ancient civilization mapped it ice-free is pure speculation with no supporting evidence. The map's own inscriptions, Piri Reis himself says the southern land is a hot continent, which directly contradicts the reality of Antarctica. Mistaken identity. The accurate features can be easily explained as a composite of the coast of South America, which bends eastward, much like the map shows, and a purely theoretical southern continent, a common cartographic practice of the time. The true significance of the map. While it doesn't show Antarctica, the Piri Reis map is genuinely revolutionary for historical reasons. 1. A synthesis of knowledge. It is a unique snapshot of geographical understanding at a pivotal moment, blending ancient Greek theory, Portuguese exploration in the East, and brand new Spanish discoveries in the West. To a link to lost charts. Its connection to the lost maps of Columbus is invaluable to historians. For its Ottoman perspective, it demonstrates that the Ottoman Empire, often portrayed as a land power, was deeply engaged with the Age of Discovery and had access to the latest European navigational secrets through its extensive naval networks. 4. A masterpiece of cartography. For its time, it was one of the most accurate and detailed maps of the Atlantic world in existence. The true story of the Piri Reis Map is not one of ancient astronauts or lost civilizations, but something equally fascinating. The story of a brilliant Ottoman admiral who, in 1513, pieced together the best available information from across the Mediterranean world, from ancient Greek scholars to captured Spanish sailors, to create one of the most sophisticated and important world maps of the early 16th century. It is a testament to the global exchange of ideas at the dawn of the modern era.